Pachita, the Mexican healer. Mexican shamanism and the connection with our great god of all things, Cuauhtémoc, the original entity that provided services through the mediumistic abilities of Barbara Guerrero, a great master of level 7 consciousness in the mental range, based on Jacobo Grinberg's book, Space and Consciousness. Pachita, the healer who challenged science. The healer Barbara Guerrero, better known as Pachita or the Saint, as Jacobo Grinberg Zilberbaum called her, was born in 1900 in Parral, Chihuahua, and died in Mexico City on April 29, 1979. She is recognized as the only psychic surgeon for her incredible gifts to analyze the minds of those who sought her help and perform inexplicable surgeries. Abandoned by her parents for being an illegitimate child, she was adopted by a strange character named Charles, of African origin and black complexion. According to Pachita herself, Charles taught her various healing procedures, energetic management, visions of the stars, and obtaining oracular information. Pachita and her healings have been studied by researchers worldwide, like the American psychologist Stanley Krippner, Cuban medical anthropologist Alberto Villoldo, Spanish paranormal researcher Salvador Freixedo, Mexican neurophysicist Jacobo Grinberg Zilberbaum, Chilean writer Alejandro Jodorowsky, who dedicated numerous pages in his texts to her, and Peruvian scholar of traditional Mesoamerican Nahualism, Carlos Castaneda, among others. Pachita recounts her unawareness of her healing abilities. Once, while attending a circus near her home in the north of the country, she encountered a very sick baby elephant. Pachita approached the animal and healed it. This event marked the beginning of her career as a healer. She started healing with herbs and demonstrated great skills, gaining self-confidence. Eventually, she ventured into surgeries, claiming to be possessed by the spirit of Cuauhtémoc, whom she called Little Brother, who, according to the healer, took over her physical body to perform procedures. For her surgeries, Pachita always used the same kitchen knife, its handle covered and lined with black insulating tape, and the blunt blade engraved with an Indian wearing a headdress. She never used anesthesia and yet claimed to literally remove organs from her patients' bodies and replace them with others. The impressive part came after the surgery, as once the wound was closed, she would quickly rinse it with some alcohol and apply bandages. After a couple of hours, patients were sent home, where they had to rest for 3 days. She instructed all the newly operated to take certain syrups and infusions, and by following the treatment strictly, they could resume their daily activities on the 4th day. Pachita's methods varied, depending on her patient's worldview. She recommended herbs to the natives, medicines to foreigners, prayers to Catholics, connecting with Mother Earth to others, and if the person had a particular healing ritual in mind, Pachita allowed it. Clearly, these were placebos to aid in her patient's healing. Patients brought a sheet, a liter of alcohol, a pack of cotton, and 6 rolls of bandages, materials for their operation and recovery. It's said that in the dark room where she performed her surgical procedures, under the light of a couple of candles, she was able to materialize healthy organs, such as livers, bladders, or kidneys. She never charged a penny for her healings. In a mayonnaise jar, patients made donations. It is asserted that she saved close to 90% of those who sought her out. At the end of the surgery, the following Thanksgiving prayer to Little Brother was sung. "Goodbye, beautiful Cuauhtémoc, Emperor of the sky, you bring us comfort, and take away all evil. How sad I wander, errant pilgrim. You extend your hand to follow the Lord." Cuauhtémoc was his name, and history recorded it. And for his great effort, he conquered glory. Your divine spirit, the Lord sent it to give us advice and take away all evil. After Pachita's death, the heir to the gift of the mother was Memo, Pachita's son, although according to Jodorowsky, it was another of her sons, Enrique, and Doña Candelaria, an elderly woman who acted as a janitor in the operating room. Her son Enrique traveled to France to operate, and it's noted that the operations have decreased in cruelty. When this was pointed out to an assistant, he replied that from incarnation to incarnation, little brother was progressing and had recently learned not to make the students, as he called the patients, suffer so much. Pachita's relationship with Los Pinos led to Grinberg being ousted from Pachita's group at the end of his book, as Margarita Lopez Portillo asked him not to say that he had met the shaman there. "I'm not a saint, look at me, I'm more fucked up than you and I together." Pachita. The existence of Pachita is a medical, mystical, and cultural phenomenon, but essentially it is an energetic manifesto. Physical theories like Jacobo Grinberg's syntergic theory are based on the proven actions of the shaman. Difficult to believe for scholars of science, but it is documented in several texts, leaving us with the philosophical doubt of whether it was reality or simply a myth. Judge for yourself.